Hello and welcome to the Lannan Ship Model Gallery, 483 Washington Street in Norwell, Mass. My name is Larry Lannan. I'm going to bring you on a tour of the largest selection of nautical antiques that I think is available anywhere. You tell me what you think. I'll bring you outside first, show you where we're working from. We were in Boston for 25 years. A couple of years ago we moved down here to Norwell, the suburbs of Boston, the South Shore of Boston. Now we operate from this beautiful 1730 Colonial that we have just chock full of hundreds of ship models, hundreds of lanterns, binnacles, engine room telegraphs, really just everything nautical in the way of decor. We've got charts of all the world's waters, paintings. We've got it all. And I'm going to try and go through this place as quick as I can because it's huge and there's a lot to see. I've been in business for 50 years, founded in 1967 by my dad. I bought the business from him when I was 22 and never looked back. Been doing nautical for a long time. Bring you in here first. It's endless. Lots of cool little things for just set the space just right. Block and tackles. Got a lot of rustic decor along with really fine decor. Here's a ship's binnacle. That's the item that, that houses the ship's compass. Here's an engine room telegraph. Sorry, this is a docking telegraph. Or a course telegraph, excuse me. Shows them actually which way to steer the boat. Sends a message. America's Cup yacht. There's all kinds of other gear here. Got loads of great half models. Marine paintings of every description. Chelsea clocks. A lot of nice clocks right there. Ship's china, small instruments. And as I said, hundreds of models. Here's one by Henry Cutler. You can look his name up. He's a famous model builder. He's written many books on the subject. Here's an original dockyard model of a three-masted schooner built down at the Lawley Yard in Dorchester, Mass, part of Boston. Chelsea clocks, little miniature models. There's some champagne bottles from the Ocean Liner Republic, a White Star liner. Giant telegraph right there. We've got many pair of beautiful yachting binoculars right now that were taken apart at my restoration shop, meticulously polished, lacquered, and put back together. A couple old Siemens penny banks right there. Same thing with the block and tackles. We've taken some beautiful vintage pulleys. They've all been taken apart, polished, lacquered, varnished, put back together. Those are all authentic lanterns right there. All wired up, ready for home use. It's an R.B. Spencer oil on canvas. Vintage signal flag. Got a yacht ensign there on a pole. There's a couple of old Ocean Liner advertising pieces from the U.S. lines. More of the great pulleys. Cruising here to another room full of gear. Your little yacht binnacle, beautiful little piece. Small telegraph, lanterns. There's another yacht binnacle right there. That's my old dog Walter. I love you, Wally. There's a pewter cup from the America's Cup Yacht Independence, owned by Thomas Lipton, who lived nearby. More lanterns, more great stuff. Here's the commuter yacht walk. Absolutely great model. That's the Mayflower right there. That model was built by Walter Simons. One of the country's absolute finest model builders. That model was built in 1928. Cobalt blue Peter Gray lantern. More binoculars. There's a great old brass humidor. It's heavy. There are vintage port and starboard lanterns. Here's a great piece here. There's a cover of a yachting magazine with the artwork, and just above it, the original artwork. How's that for a coincidence? Three-masted schooner yacht Atlantic. Over here we've got some great paintings, gouaches, gentlemen's yachts, great sport fish right there. There's an absolute monster telescope right there. Ceiling in this room is about 7.5 feet tall, and it goes to the ceiling. It came from a Boston University. It's a deaccession. It's a great old pub sign sitting in front of a binnacle, sitting next to a Harrishoff winch, capstan winch, just an absolute monster. Nice telegraph right there. Here's some America's Cup prints with an inset panel with the record of the race. And we've got a number of those. There's about, I think, 15 in the set. If you're looking to line them down a corridor or put 4 together on a wall, they look great. There's some more yacht binnacles. It's a great yacht binnacle. It's a Spanish telegraph. Okay, let's walk up and see some models. Let's go in here first. More signal flags. Beautiful carved eagle. Here's a table. It's absolutely fantastic. That's a ship's porthole converted into a table. It's about 40 inches diameter. Easily sit 4 people, and it's at bar height. And here's a table made out of a ship's wheel that I'm absolutely so proud of. It came out so great. This was done at my shop. We've refinished the wheel, polished the brass, and we fitted it to an original ship's binnacle base. And you could sit about 6 people at that bar height. Fantastic. Awesome picture of painting of Nantucket Harbor back in the day. Shows the whalers at dock, shows downtown. Very fun picture. New York Yacht Club Burgee. We've got life rings, nice old vintage life rings. Again, signal flags. These are in shadow box frames with the original wooden toggles. They're great. The telescope hanging on a couple of hooks always looks good. Okay. Let's go upstairs. Oh, look at these telegraphs. I love them. These ones, again, at our shop, they've been all taken apart, completely polished, completely lacquered, electrified when possible. We used LED inside, so the bulbs are going to last forever. Many of the lanterns we've made beautiful wooden bases for, as you can see. They're all richly varnished and stained. They look great. There's an alligator table. It's a lot of fun with an inlaid marquetry top. Ship's wheel on a stand. Another R.B. Spencer painting. A couple of more gouaches. Some great half models. America's Cup. That's Endeavor on the bottom, Defender on top. Swing around here. There's so much to see. It's a 6-foot model of the Island Home. Catboat model. Swing over here. Here's a really nice model of the schooner yacht Atlantic put into a diorama. Cruising along. J.P. Morgan's private launch from Corsair. We actually sold the actual vessel to one of our clients. He has it up in Michigan now. He enjoys it. Engine order telegraph. There's a 6-foot model of Corsair too. Absolutely gorgeous model. And as you can look around, we've just got all kinds of antique models and cased models. And this is by Robert Innes from Cape Cod. Gentleman used to work with the use of a prosthetic. He had one arm and built unbelievable ship models. They're in the Hart Museum at MIT. They're at the Science Museum in Boston. These models are all over the world. And you can own one. That's the Sovereign of the Seas. Here's a fabulous model here. This was donated to a club down in New York by Charles Taylor of Boston, who is the publisher of the Boston Globe. He donated that model to a men's club down in New York near the turn of the century. There's the Flying Cloud clipper ship. There's a great Dutch man of war. Clipper ship Sovereign of the Seas, another Boston clipper. You know, all kinds of various antique models. Every description, all kinds of square riggers. Frame charts, as I said, they're stacked up. Paintings are stacked up. View our website anytime, lannangallery.com. That's LANNANGALLERY.com. Some of the quality on these models is totally amazing. Here's one over here I love. That's J. Burr Bartram's private yacht Caritas. That's a period model. Fantastic. Fair American. America's Cup Yacht Rainbow. Big 6-foot model of the Cup Yacht Puritan. More lanterns. Nantucket Lightship. French telescope. Great spotlight. Got loads of spotlights on vintage tripods. All recently electrified. Wiring's all set. Here's some big 6-foot, 7-foot, 8-foot pond yachts. If you've got a big giant window, we've got pond yachts for you. There's a big long chart of Long Island Sound sitting in front of one of the East Coast. Here's Erin, that's Thomas Lipton's private yacht. Got all kinds of Alden blueprints. We had a horde of John Alden blueprints here that we're breaking into. Here's Caritas again. You saw the builder's model of the yacht. Another model of Atlantic. We've built Atlantic in several scales. It's really one of the prettiest yachts that ever sailed the seas. 4-foot Nantucket Lightship. It's Nantucket in a 54-inch case. Here's a smaller model of J.P. Morgan's Corsair. And again, lanterns, porthole tables. We've got loads of them. We've got bar height, coffee table height, bistro height. Absolutely massive telescope on a tripod right here. This is engraved on the collar. Charles C. Hutchinson of Boston. It's got a spotting scope. The scope is actually made by Bardou of France, but the ship's chandler was Hutchinson. There's a porthole table with a pickled finish. And again, more lanterns. A couple of binnacles down there. Here's J.P. Morgan's Corsair 4, beautiful yacht. Old vintage commuter yacht up top. Antique 2-masted schooner sitting on top of the J-Class Yacht Enterprise. There's more models in the back over here, as you can see. That clipper ship Sovereign of the Seas is one of the finest models I own. That comes from the Chicago Museum of History and Science. And it's absolute first-class work. That model was built around 1910. Spectacular model of the USS Constitution. Incredible detail. Is 8 block and tackle rigging every cannon to the deck of the boat. It's got a copper sheath hull below the waterline. It is exceptional. We've got some leather-bound books. Here's a model by Charles Fox of Cape Cod of a Chris Craft Cobra. Get it to focus. Spectacular little model. Caviar set from the Ocean Line United States. Everyone needs one. Got a lot of vintage black and white press photos of America's Cup races and private yachts. Got about 50 of those framed up. Beautiful yacht binnacle right here. One more pan around this room. We'll head downstairs. I appreciate you taking the time to look at this. I know that it takes a while to get around the room to see everything. More art on the walls. Now we're going below deck, if you want to call it that. This is the walkout lower level of the shop. Got a great supply of portholes if you're looking to put one in the door. Dozens of ship's wheels, every size. It's a huge Mack truck right there. Nice lineup of vintage half models. Instruments everywhere, logs, clocks, barometers, clinometers. Things I don't even know what they are like that. There's a step from a Royal Naval vessel. And here, I'll give you a look around here. So as you can see, the place is filled to the rafters with everything. Everything nautical is here. I'm going to swing around here into one of my favorite corners. Very photogenic area. Here's a telegraph with a top of the line skylight binnacle with helm attached. Very rare to find those, and that's a great one. Fabulous binnacle. Whole table full of lanterns all lit up. I think I mentioned before we electrified many of the lanterns so they're all ready to go. Signal flags, dozens of them. I know I'm repeating myself a little, but how can you help it when you've got so many? Quarter boards. Stunning beacon. Huge maritime beacon on a stand. Should look great in your house. The end of your driveway in the middle of the circle. Okay. More lanterns. Wheels. Beautiful wheel there with the rim on the outside.